Hey yo, what it do, baby? It's your boy Dynamic, bringing you some CoD Ghosts gameplay commentary, and I'm playing Domination. This game actually ended up being 13 minutes long, so I had to edit it because my computer is so freaking slow that it would have took like 3 or 4 hours to render. Right here I'm playing against a little clan or a little group, I don't know what to call it, but everybody on the enemy team was talking. They either knew each other or something. Every time I killed someone, they were like calling me out, so I had to like kill and move. You know, I had to pick my positions and stuff like that. So it was a really tough game. Not for me, because I was having a miraculous game. I actually played this game today. Second game in, I think it was, I had a good gameplay right away. Like always, you know, I'm one of the best. Nah, not to brag anyways. So this clan of group was, man, these guys were some mean-ass campers. You guys will see later on in the game when they see that the game is almost hopeless for them. Oh, my God. Look at the right corner on the bottom of the screen, the right bottom corner. I forgot my third kill streak. I could have had 2 choppies this game. And for those of you guys who don't know, choppy stands for chopper or helicopter, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I could have had 2 choppy choppies, 2 birdie birdies. That's what I used to call the helicopters back when I first started commentating. So I'm just bringing that back a little, bringing some of that nostalgia back. So anyways, I'm going to talk about something that involves Call of Duty, but actually has to do with another game, with Battlefield 4. I have told you guys many times, I have been enjoying Battlefield 4 so much right now. And Battlefield 4 is not as much of a Twitch shooter as COD. It is. It really is. It is a Twitch shooter. But there's so much strategy involved in the game that you have to really think about what you're doing, especially when playing the objective. You have to be really, really, really careful. And I feel like Battlefield 4 has been conditioning me. I'm actually playing the objective different. Before I used to just bum rush and like relentless attack. And I'm not saying that's bad, but it's teaching me to pick my spots. So I'm trying to use what I learned in Battlefield to play Call of Duty. And so far, at least for this day, for the games that I have played, I have been doing really, really good. And I'm really happy with the results that I've been getting with playing smart and stuff like that. And this game is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Also, something that has happened is that I changed the placement of my right thumb on the joystick. This is what I used to do before. Look at your right thumb. You see the line, the first line that separates your thumb. Right there is kind of like a hard surface, like a bone, right? So I used to press the edge of the joystick on that line right there, like on that bone. And I used to use that bone like inside of my finger to move, you know, to aim and stuff like that. So then over time, especially since I've been playing so much Xbox One lately, over time, over the first 3 days, I developed like a little blister there, like a little pocket full of liquid. You know, I don't know if you guys ever played Street Fighter back in the days. Some of you are too young. But if you play Street Fighter and Super Nintendo, you would get these blisters full of liquid. And it was like, it was painful, but to me it was kind of like pleasurable at the same time, because I would take a needle and like stick it in there and the liquid would come out. Ah, man, you guys don't even know about that. And then it would hurt even more, but it would go away faster. Well, anyways, I got one of those, a little one. Didn't really have that much liquid inside, but I got a little one right on that line. And I could feel it right now. And within 2 days, that little blister turned into a callus. And a callus is like a hard surface on your finger, basically, or wherever you have it. It's like a hard skin. It turns like really compact, kind of like a turtle shell. And it's right on that line where I used to use it to aim with the joystick and stuff. The callus is really, really soft. Like, how can I explain it? It's hard, but at the same time, the surface of it is really soft. So then when I was using the joystick, it would just like slide off the callus. It would just slide off. So I couldn't really get any grip. So then I decided to change the way I use the right stick. And I started putting like the fat part of the thumb on it. Like right there. Not the line, but before the line. Like the little fat part right there. Like the cushion. And it felt so weird in the beginning. It felt like, I was like, man, I cannot shoot like this. It was terrible to get used to. But after like 3 days, this is the thing, human beings, we don't like change, we like things to stay the same. But after like 3 days, it doesn't feel natural to me. Like I still have to think about it to do it, but it's so much more comfortable because I'm already getting a little bit used to it, and I feel like it's doing amazing things for my aim. Like it's not doing amazing things for my reflexes because I gotta aim and like get it on target, but once I get it on target, it's like so accurate for me right now. It's like stable, and before it wasn't that stable. So I think the more I get used to that, to holding it that way, to moving the stick that way, the better I'll get probably. Oh my god, I just played back what I said. It sounds like the most homoerotic story of all time. Oh my god. It was straight up homoerotic. If you didn't think that what I was saying was like something else and you were taking it for what it was, which I was talking about, you know, I changed the position on the controller. If you were like just thinking of that, then you are a sane human being. But most of us are not that sane. Like I just listened back to what I just said and I was like, oh my god, I started dying. I started dying laughing. It was wow. So let's move away from that fiasco and let's talk about, wait a minute, I was gonna name this video One Man Team. I think I have to change the title now. Now I think the title should be My First Homoerotic Story or CoD Ghosts Homoerotic Story. I don't know, I have to choose. I'm definitely thinking that that's gonna grab a lot of subscribers' attention because you guys are gonna think that, oh my god, he's gonna reveal that he's gay. No, that's not it. As some of you guys might know, because I either said it in a video or we have private messaged before, I have a wife. We've been married for 5 years. Most of you guys know that. Well, it's gonna be 5 years in a little bit. There's a whole bunch of things that have happened in my life that sometimes I feel like sharing, but I don't know. For the most part, during this whole time that I've been on YouTube, I've been very, very private about those things. And maybe someday I'll open up to everything that I've lived, because I've gone through a lot of things and I have a lot of things to share, a lot of knowledge. And I feel like maybe sometimes you guys don't know, like you know me, but you don't know exactly who I am. Like it's weird. You know what I'm trying to tell you guys, right? And maybe with time, when I'm a little bit more comfortable, I'll open up a little bit more. If you made it this far into the video, then you either enjoyed this video so much or you are a very dedicated subscriber, because it's hard to stick around for 8 minutes. And we freaking lost the game, guys. We freaking lost the game by 1 point. So anyways, if you like the video, rate, comment, subscribe, and as always, peace out, players. Oh my game.